moving on to a few college headlines. Former Notre Dame quarterback Tyler. What did I just say? Former Notre Dame.
My guy was thinking the
head fucking spin. Holy shit!
He was sitting there thinking about the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and he just really got screwed up a little bit.
That was crazy.
Wild.
Take two.
You got it? You got it?
We good?
Cause we way too high for you. Tripping like we got too much on. But they got love for us. Cause we staying all night long. Yo, when we walk in the club, you better believe we know what's up. Got these girls a little trance, throwing rhythm in the dance.
Good morning, afternoon, evening. We thank you for tuning into the Bros in the Berg podcast again. We got an extra special episode coming your guys' way this week. We are currently recording about an hour before the NFL draft. Right after we record this episode that'll drop here in a couple of days, we will be live reacting to the NFL draft. So if you want to see that reaction, go back and watch the live stream recorded on YouTube, and we'll be talking about that a little bit more there. But for myself and Ryan and our executive producer Connor, we welcome you into the show and excited to talk about some more sports this week.
There was
Sponsored by Cherry Coke, but not actually.
Those were some good comms there, Bergstone. I liked that. You're like, go back. It's
Thank
gonna be. I liked that.
Why
Listen,
would you
we
talk
gotta
to
get-
me like that?
I do every day, every morning on FaceTime.
You FaceTime each other every morning.
No.
It's a little bit more than it should be. I'm going to be honest. I wake up and just FaceTime Ryan from bed, I swear.
Oh,
It's
there it is.
it's like a
Good morning, sunshine.
What do we got on the work topic today?
Plot twist,
you heard it here
it's almost
first.
always not a lot, but
So we're going to be leading off today. As Robbie said, the NFL draft is tonight, and we will get around to that eventually. We're going to be leading off with the NBA playoffs, as we normally do around this time of the year. The NBA playoffs, a few series have concluded in the first round. The first round is still going on. There's about 2 or 3 series still going on, but the ones that have concluded consist of the Denver Nuggets beating the Minnesota Timberwolves in a 5-game series. Denver takes it 4-1. No
Saw that
surprise there. I think people
I'm
expected
surprised.
a
I'm
sweep.
surprised the Wolves got a game.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
surprised the Wolves
The
got
old
the game.
gentleman's sweep.
Yeah, literally.
And I guess I'll just go into this headline while we're on this topic, because like I said, the Nuggets got swept. But after the last game, Anthony Edwards showcased a little frustration. So apparently he's being cited for assault after the game, in which he picked up a chair and essentially grazed 2 employees, and they are now suing him for assault.
Did you see the video?
He didn't. That wasn't anything like the what was the who's the NFL player that got in trouble?
There was I don't know. There's absolutely no. Oh, it was was it Devontae Adams that pushed the reporter?
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. But it was like it wasn't even close to that level of like at all.
No, like it was definitely like one. Like he was definitely frustrated. Like he picked up a chair to like get it out of his way,
Yeah.
and just when he was like kind of swinging it around, he hit 2 of the employees. Which like okay, like bad move. Like you know, got to control your frustration a little bit. But, like our initial like headlines came out that he like chucked a chair to him, which is
Yeah,
not
I
the
know.
case.
Well,
Like that's
you-
not
You
what
say,
happened.
You say hit. He like grazed. He barely touched
Right.
him. I was like, what are we talking
The first
about?
one, especially like the one on like the swing coming this way, like he
Yeah.
had to have just grazed him. I think
Yeah.
the lady on the come around probably got hit a little bit harder, but I don't know.
Shit,
It was
if I
it
was
seemed
playing
very
with-
blown out of proportion.
If I was playing with Gobert, I'd have the same fucking reaction.
His lawyers posted to Twitter today saying they will be vehemently denying the charges, obviously. So they're going to be fighting these charges pretty heavy. So it looks like Anthony Edwards is going to be occupied in the offseason for at least for the next few weeks. But as we said,
I do have to say I saw the headline and I was like, okay, I actually could see this, like just because it's
Damn.
Anthony Edwards, but I kind of feel bad that I assumed
Yeah.
that. So
that's true.
shout out Ant.
So yes, as we said, the Denver Nuggets taking the series in 5 games in Denver. Obviously, you know, Nikola Jokic doing his thing. Michael Porter Jr. doesn't know how to pass the ball, and that's all. That's always that's the most fun thing to watch in the NBA now is just to watch Michael Porter Jr. play basketball, because it just goes up. He just shoots the ball, and it's really entertaining actually. So yeah, Jokic in that last game.
Commentary.
Jokic in that last game struggled a little bit from the field in terms of shooting, but still had a 28-point triple-double with 28, 17, and 12. And then Jamal Murray really brought it home with a 35-point performance. So moving on from that series, another series that concluded in the same night as that, a series that I don't think anybody expected to go only 5 games, but this could be attributed to injuries, obviously. The Phoenix Suns beat the Los Angeles Clippers in a 5-game series. Suns take it 4-1, obviously without Kawhi Leonard, without Paul George, where Norman Powell kind of had to front most of the offense.
Yeah, if there's one Clippers hater, it's me.
But you hate the Suns too.
No, I know, but just seeing at least one of them lose kind of embarrassingly in the first round, and obviously there were injuries, like shout out Kawhi.
Can we go back to your Norman Powell comment? Give some respect to Russell fucking Westbrook. That man actually played well.
Robbie, Norman Powell had 27 in the last game. Westbrook had 14.
Go back to the 2 games before that.
Well, yes, I was speaking about the game, the last game.
Still, put some respect on Westbrook. You made it sound like Norman Powell like carried them through this series.
No, you are
Russell Westbrook played really well.
In game 4, he had 30-something on like 58% shooting. Westbrook had a very good game in this series. That is very true. But once again, actually, this is hilarious because he had the same exact shooting stats last time. He was 3 for 18 in this last game, just like the last time we recorded.
Let him cook.
If there's one Russ defender, it's me. I do feel bad for Russ sometimes. I think Russ gets a bad rap.
No, I agree. But yeah,
AD, on the other hand, though, still Charmin soft. If Kawhi played, they lose that series, and I stand by that.
Poor Kawhi, man. That guy cannot catch a fucking break.
So
at this point, is it poor Kawhi, or is like he just not very good at managing injuries? Like, honest question. Like, because it seems like this happens a lot.
Well,
maybe it's the fucking Clippers. Like maybe their medical staff is just actual cheeks.
Think back to like Lob City. I feel like this stuff happened all the time with like DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin too. Like one of them would get hurt in a playoff series and like not finish the series. Like same thing.
Did you guys see his official diagnosis? Because that was one of that. So
Kawhi.
Kawhi Leonard. Just for those of you listening at home, he officially has a torn meniscus. And so that obviously, some people thought that he was just sitting out with a sore knee. It's like, no, he tore something in his knee.
What did Paul George do? What did he hurt?
Ryan, what did Paul George do?
You fucking put me on the pen. I almost said something really offensive, but I forgot.
I knew I was setting Ryan up for that a little bit. I was hoping you would say it, but
Paul George does not push B. That was the first episode of this podcast.
Does not push B.
And also speaking of the Clippers, another headline reported is apparently Ty Lue is expected to return, and I don't think that's any shocker given that this season wasn't really his fault. I mean, I don't think Ty Lue's the answer of the Clippers, but I also don't think
Ty Lue is never the answer.
But I also don't think that you get rid of him after this season. I don't think that's fair.
It's the thing they always talk about, like with NFL quarterbacks. Like, are you really ever gonna like win? I mean, I guess you could. Like, do you think this Clippers team could win a championship with Ty Lue as their coach?
Let's just say this: I would trade Jason Kidd for Ty Lue, legitimately.
I wouldn't.
I think that's a giant insult to Ty Lue after how this fucking season with Kidd.
Well, Ty Lue also has a championship compared to Jason. So yeah, that is disrespectful.
That's why I caught myself saying you can't win a championship with Ty Lue. I just mean when he doesn't have LeBron. And he won a championship. Yeah.
The one caveat is lay GM. You have to have him.
Yeah.
Bro, there's a couple times LeBron in the playoffs. I think like Connor could have been their head coach, and I think LeBron still would have like gotten them to the finals. Like I don't think it fucking mattered, honestly.
We would have
because LeBron's the coach, anyways.
Yeah, 4-0 series. Steve Kerr got nothing on me.
The Lakers head coach is just the best courtside seat in Los Angeles. The fucking talking about.
I literally said that to my roommates the other day. I was like, dude, if you're a coach, what the hell are you saying to LeBron James? Like, there's nothing you can say.
Like, the fuck.
Yo, LeBron, yeah, you're looking good out there today, man. Keep it up. Like, I don't even know what you say. I have no idea.
Just dap him up. Yeah, keep it going.
Do you remember when like David Blatt was like the Cavaliers head coach when like LeBron came back? Like, what is David Blatt saying to LeBron? Like what in the world does that guy have to say to LeBron James? Like, I have no idea. Yeah, right.
But yeah, moving on to the series last night. Two, I think pretty shocking results. One specifically, we'll get to the one before. The New York Knicks take this series against the Cleveland Cavaliers in 5 games, and I honestly think most of us expected this to go to 7. And so honestly, this was like frankly kind of an embarrassing performance from the Cavaliers. The New York Knicks played very well. Randall and Brunson did their thing, but I think that's definitely just a disappointment from Cleveland.
Donovan Mitchell did not play well in the series at all either. I can't remember what he was shooting from 3, but it was abysmal.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely disappointing from the Cavs. Like we all said that we thought that series was going going 7.
Mhm.
Maybe they're just another year away. I mean, obviously they made some big trades last year. Some of their core guys are still pretty young.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
I
did
think next year if you see another first round exit, then you got to be concerned as a Cavs fan.
Yeah.
I did hear a fun stat for the Cavs fan, or for the Cavs if you're a Cavs fan. This was the first time they had a playoff win without LeBron since 1996.
Yeah, so you're okay with how the season has gone, okay?
Right. Yeah. You're
Even
and they-
though
they- I
I
mean,
hate
they-
losing to the fucking Knicks.
Yeah. They exceeded everyone's expectations this year. I mean, I think just making the playoffs, especially being a top 4 seed,
Yeah.
like I think was a pretty good season.
right.
But definitely not expected to get on the Knicks in 5 games.
Yeah, see, anytime you draw the Knicks in a first round series, you expect them to choke in the most miraculous way possible.
And the biggest shocker of last night, something that I don't think anybody or their mother expected, Giannis Antetokounmpo losing, and the Milwaukee Bucks losing in the first round to a play-in team Heat. Jimmy Butler in the playoffs is a different breed of a basketball player. He dropped, I think it was 42 last night, and he doesn't even shoot that many threes, guys. He's just he
got hurt after it was game 3 that he got hurt. They weren't sure if he's gonna be able to play, right? He came out of the game.
Did you see the bucket that he made to send it to overtime?
It's ridiculous. Literally,
that pass though. That pass though was outrageous. Dude.
I mean, if there was any team that was even gonna compete with the Bucks in the first round, it was gonna be the Heat. I don't think any of those other playoff teams would have had a chance.
But a 5-game series where the 8 seed beats
you say
them.
You say that though, but the Hawks are still in the series against
which
the Celtics.
Is crazy to me.
They're still in the series.
Would have lost the fucking house on that.
And they really could have won Game 4 in Atlanta too. They were in that game. Crazy.
Is playoff Jimmy Butler a Hall of Fame player just by himself? Asking for the fans.
I literally I had this discussion the other day with one of our roommates because basically he was like, "Do you think Brook Lopez is a Hall of Famer?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do. I think Brook Lopez is a Hall of Fame player." And then I asked him, I was like, "Do you think Jimmy Butler?" I don't think Jimmy Butler is a Hall of Fame player.
There's no way you're saying Brook Lopez is a Hall of Fame player.
Yeah, I'd put Jimmy Butler in over Brook Lopez.
No
100%.
way. What are you talking about?
Yes.
How is Brook Lopez not a Hall of Fame player?
I think you're smoking a little bit of crack.
How is Brook Lopez?
I'm not saying Brook Lopez isn't. I'm just saying I would put Jimmy Butler in over Brook Lopez.
But in terms of accomplishments, I don't know what Butler has, and I'm not saying that all Hall of Fame requirements go back to accolades, but I don't know what Jimmy Butler has over Brook Lopez. Neither have an MVP.
I always look to look at the Hall of Fame odds.
I think Lopez may have a depoy. Lopez has a championship. Butler doesn't. I think you could argue that Lopez was for a few, maybe 6 years or so, maybe not 6 years, but for a consistent period of time, I think you could argue that Brook Lopez was a top 3 center in the league, especially when he was on the Nets.
So, Basketball Reference right now gives Jimmy Butler a 73% chance to make the Hall of Fame.
I forgot that there was this database.
Lopez. Yeah.
This is a cool.
I love this.
Yeah, it's very cool.
And it gives Brook Lopez a less than a 1% chance of making the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I just don't agree at all.
The performance of the top 10 most comparable players, the top 3 are Channing Frye, Jeff Green, and Tree Rollins.
Shout out Channing Frye. That guy was a shooter.
Connor, I think the thing is Brook Lopez would be in the Hall of Very Good. He's a very good basketball player and he's very solid. But should he be in the Hall of Fame?
No.
That's a different conversation.
Yeah.
It's not the Hall of Very Good. It's the best players to ever play the game and have those standout performances.
So I just say that from the perspective of by the end of his career, I do think Jimmy Butler will be in the Hall of Fame. But right now, I would be more tempted to put Lopez in over Butler.
Well, I think that's a completely different argument than what you're making. To be completely
Though that's okay. That's more so what I meant. But by the end of his career, Butler, I'm very confident will be a Hall of Fame player.
Although his one run to the finals was a Mickey Mouse run, so it doesn't actually count. That's how that works.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But
I was interested in hearing LeBron talk about that. The championship of the bubble is his hardest championship won.
Yeah,
I believe it,
and I believe that. I don't get the people that say it was easier in the bubble. you literally can't do anything but play basketball. Like that has to be so mentally like draining.
Yeah, he was
Like,
like,
I mean,
it was like
it's hard to
82 days
it's
or however. He was like, I hadn't
Yeah.
seen my fucking.
and I
family.
guess it's hard to say that these guys have it tough as they're playing a professional sport and making millions of dollars. But like that's a tough situation to be in.
Yeah, agreed. But yeah, so I believe those were all the series that concluded. The series that are still taking place, the Memphis Grizzlies are up 3-2. Or excuse me, sorry, the Los Angeles
Other
Lakers
way.
are. Yeah, sorry, the Los Angeles Lakers are up 3-2 on the Memphis Grizzlies, going back to LA. I do believe LA will be able to clinch in Game 6. What about you guys?
Did you
LeBron
guys
is
see
not letting
Dylan
Dylan
Brooks
Brooks.
grab LeBron's dong?
What'd you say?
I mean, he straight up grabbed it. He just went for it.
yeah.
He just straight went for it.
And then did you see his quote after the game? He's like, "Oh, the media paints me out to be a bad guy, so of course I tried to hit LeBron in the nuts." I was like, I hate this guy. He's
How
so
did somebody
awful.
just like sprint past Draymond Green and being the most unliked player in the NBA? This fucking
Like
magic.
Draymond like eats that shit up. Like Draymond wants people to not like him. Dylan Brooks is like making people not like him, and he's like, "Why don't you guys like me?" It's like maybe because you're a fucking asshole. Like it's not that hard. Like I don't get it.
I saw something. I think it might have been TikTok where some guy was doing the Draymond Green line, and it was annoying versus like how good of a player / how good are you for your team, and they called it the Draymond Green line as he's the perfect 45th. It was just drawing. It's like Giannis, top left, really good for his team. You love the guy. No one has beef with fucking Giannis, but then you down at the bottom. It's like Pat Bev. Kind of a fucking bum. Everyone hates him. It is like Dylan Brooks is like right.
But the other thing about Pat Bev though is he's like Draymond, where like he enjoys being the villain. Like Pat Bev, like he tries to be the villain and he owns that shit, which I respect way more than Dylan Brooks doing this and then like tracking back, like I don't know why everyone hates me. Like I don't get it. It's like these are the consequences of your own actions. That's really what it comes down to.
So yeah, moving on from the Lakers Grizzlies series, we have another series that could very feasibly go 7 games. The Warriors are currently up 3-2 against the Kings. Like I said, it's the Golden State Warriors versus the Sacramento Kings. The Warriors took one in Sacramento, and so going back to Chase Center to try to finish it out. Do you guys think they will?
I do. Unfortunately, as much as I'd like to see the Kings win and be able to light the beam in Game 7, that'd
be crazy.
I don't see it happening. I just don't.
Yeah. Imagine the ESPN coverage whenever it's LeBron versus Curry in the second round of the playoffs. It's going to be unbearable.
I want to see someone do the numbers like if so, say like the Warriors and the Lakers both win their series.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like the lowest average seeds in the second round ever? Like it feels like it would have to be up there.
Yeah.
Because you have the 8 seed, you have the 8 seed Heat, the 5 seed Knicks won.
Yeah,
I guess two in the East is probably going to win. Who's the 3 seed in the East?
Sixers,
yeah.
Sixers won. So number 1 seed in the West won. 7 seed could win. 6 seed could win in the West.
Yep.
And then the 4-5 is
Clippers, Suns, Clippers won.
the
Suns,
the Suns were the 5. Were the Suns the 4 or the 5 seed?
Suns
Suns
were the Clippers were the 5 seed.
Okay, but still, I mean that's a lot of really low seeded teams advancing to the second round.
So moving on to the last series that has to be decided, going into a game 6 in Atlanta. It's the Boston Celtics versus the Atlanta Hawks. Trae Young finally stepping up in the playoffs. Obviously, he had a little bit of a struggle to start this series. But yeah, the Hawks have been able to kind of claw back from another series that I think people thought was going to be a sweep or maybe a gentleman's sweep.
Yes.
But they're trying.
I'm upset with how the Hawks are actually lasting.
You guys know what's happening in Atlanta tomorrow on top of the Hawks having a playoff game?
The Janet Jackson concert? Or was
so that got moved to that got moved to
to
tonight.
Yeah.
And Mercedes-Benz tomorrow, Taylor Swift comes to town for the Eras tour.
Holy crap. Atlanta's going to be
I can't even imagine being in downtown Atlanta.
God almighty,
I just cannot. So like when you go to State Farm and Mercedes, they're right next to each other. But there's a MARTA station that lets you off right in the middle of the two. There's no way you're riding the MARTA in the city tomorrow. There's just no chance.
No, yeah.
You'd be waiting for hours. So Atlanta's gonna be popping this weekend.
Don't go downtown.
No, I'm going out of the city this weekend specifically for this reason. But no.
Smart.
All right, real quick question: NBA trivia. Using that Hall of Fame probability calculator, there are 4 active players that have a 100% chance of being in the Hall. Can you name them?
I just looked at the list.
Oh wait, you want?
I don't know if I remember all of them, but I'll throw. Yeah, obviously LeBron.
Wait, hold on, don't help. Because if you saw him,
I don't remember, to be honest. I know
okay.
LeBron's up there. I control at F to Jimmy Butler and Brook Lopez. So
Steph Curry,
2 of
Yep.
4,
Kevin Durant.
3 of 4.
Kawhi Leonard.
No,
Nope.
no.
I know
Terrible.
Russ is at like 99.7%.
99.94%.
Yeah, I know Russ is really high up there.
Wait, let me go. Let me cook. Try to go 4 for 4.
Does the Shangju Sharks star Dwight Howard count in this? Is he still an
Very
active
high.
NBA player?
Incredibly
Yeah.
high.
I mean, that's not.
He's
I
still
don't think
an
that's
active
surprising.
player. Yeah, I just didn't know if he counted for this exercise here. That's what-
Of players still playing, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, he doesn't have a
5,
championship.
6. He's 7th.
Yeah,
Of
I believe
active,
that.
like, probability.
I was thinking Harden, Paul, but they don't have championships.
He's
is
in
it James Harden?
Is in between KD and Curry, and Harden is 99.99% chance.
Yeah.
So he's between LeBron and Curry.
No.
He's between KD
KD.
and Curry.
Oh,
So
sorry.
he's been playing for a long time.
So he's 3.
You already said it, Connor. It was Paul.
Chris Paul?
Chris Paul.
CP3. Bum.
I almost went 4 for,
Bum.
4 for 5. We'll give me 80% on that one.
There you go. He's cooking.
That's that. I need to go into that. Look at some players. That's a little fun database.
I'm somewhat
Okay.
surprised Kawhi is that long. I guess he just hasn't played that long.
I mean, yeah, the
The
one champion.
lowest.
He doesn't have an MVP.
He has 2 Finals MVPs though.
What?
He won one with the Spurs.
Oh,
didn't he?
you're right. Yeah, I forgot about
Yeah.
that. I forgot he has 2 championships. You're right. I
The
forgot
lowest
Spurs.
active player that I recognize from this list has a .0002, and it's Matthew Dellavedova.
Oh, shout out Matthew Dellavedova, man. He went crazy in the
Why
2016
does
finals.
Dell even have odds for the Hall of Fame? I mean,
Oh,
that's
God.
just not. I mean, I guess maybe if he came back and coached, but like
Danilo Gallinari and Dwight Powell are just above him.
the disrespect to my boy Gallo. Honestly,
Yeah,
he should
come
be
on now.
higher. He should be higher than Delly.
Brandon Ingram and Pat Bev are down there too. Same
Ugh.
percent chance.
Weird.
Anyways, we can continue.
So yeah, moving on from the NBA, we're gonna get into a little bit of the NFL draft. Obviously, we have our resident Panthers fan, Robbie Bergstone, with us tonight. Robbie, what are you expecting to see tonight?
Disappointment.
The Panthers will draft a quarterback.
Okay.
I think
Will
the quarterback
Levis.
will be Bryce Young. Did you see that Reddit post?
No. What?
So on what day was that? I think it was Tuesday. There was
Yeah,
this
it was a
Reddit
couple days
post from
ago.
like r/sportsbook, and it was this guy. He's like, Will Levis is listed at plus 4,000 to be the number 1 overall pick right now. He's telling his friends and family that he will be drafted by the Carolina Panthers at number 1 overall come Thursday. This one random guy on Reddit says this. Connor, his odds jumped to like plus 700.
Yeah. 400.
Over the course of, like-
last time I saw
Was it 400?
Yes,
His
dude.
odds
So-
went
So you're
berserk.
drafting Will Levis. That's what I'm hearing right now.
Listen, if we draft Will Levis number 1 overall, here's the agreement I'll make to do on the live stream.
Okay.
I will go downstairs, brew myself a cup of coffee,
Uh-huh.
put mayo in it, come back up and order myself an Indianapolis Colts jersey. I will do that all on the
That
live
is
stream if we draft Will
horrid.
Levis number 1. That's what he does. Will Levis puts mayo in his coffee.
That's so
I
awful.
know.
That's so
But I will do it. If that happens, that is what will happen on the live stream.
Holy, that's disgusting. I had no idea that's actually, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, regardless of his ability on the football field, I don't want someone who puts mayo in his coffee.
Yeah,
on my
that's
football
just
team.
terrible.
It's
So
absolute maniac behavior. I don't really know like how to describe that otherwise. I don't know what you're doing.
yeah, outside of the Panthers, guys, what else are you expecting to see tonight? A lot of trades in the early going, a lot of crazy picks. What are we thinking?
I'm expecting to see Mel Kiper besides himself at multiple points during this draft. He's just like, what the fuck are they doing?
You know what? Mel Kiper actually has Will Levis as his number 2 quarterback right now going into the draft.
Wow.
I saw that on ESPN the other day.
That's why they call them experts.
I can't imagine the Texans not drafting a quarterback. Like
Yeah.
a lot of reports have said they won't and they'll take Will Anderson. I can't imagine that.
Yeah.
I think if that happens, if you see I think you see Bryce go 1, Stroud go 2. If the Texans are going to pick a quarterback, I think they take Stroud at 2. If that happens, I think at 3 the Cardinals start getting a lot of calls. Because the Colts are probably taking a quarterback too.
Mhm.
Right.
There's
I
there's a no-
think the Texans take Anderson or look to trade back to secure themselves Anderson, depending on if there's a quarterback hungry team.
or
And then they go 0-17 and get Caleb Williams next year.
There you go. I mean, there's also like if you're the Texans and you don't love a quarterback aside of Bryce Young, do you not trade back to like the end of the first round and pick up like Richardson or Levis and also pick up some more assets? Like that's also an option.
Yeah. Good point. I'm excited to see.
I think this is crazy, but I think there's a non-zero chance that you see 4 quarterbacks go in the first 4 picks. I don't think it's likely.
Oh no, 100%,
but if
yeah.
if the Panthers and Texans go 1-2, I think they start hitting the panic button. I just don't think the Colts are going to draft anyone but a quarterback either.
Agreed.
So you can see the Titans trading up. You could see who I think there's a lot of teams because obviously the Cardinals aren't picking one, but I think they start getting a lot of calls, and there's a non-zero chance you see 4 quarterbacks going 4 picks.
That'd be crazy. Yeah.
And just like
Then imagine
Levis keeps drawing. Levis keeps drawing the Josh Allen comparison. And I think that's just gotten everyone in a fucking tizzy, especially with AR-15 also having, all the intangibles kind of, doesn't have enough game tape, but he's so green, he could be the next one. He's just like,
right.
God almighty.
It's crazy. And like, I think a lot of teams too, it's like, okay, Will Levis looked really good 2 years ago. This year he didn't look great. So do you hold that against him, or is that more of a facet of that he plays for Kentucky and didn't have a great team? That's where you have to make the decision on Will Levis. Because you're right, he has all the physical intangibles that you want out of an NFL quarterback, but can he actually play the position?
I don't know. Something that if you're trying to take a guy in the top 5 picks wise, I would want to see some consistent like production, especially if he's going to be like there longer.
Imagine you're the Seahawks sitting there at 5 and somehow Will Anderson falls to you.
Right?
Yeah.
And absolutely
that's insane. That's insane.
I think that this will probably be one of the most entertaining drafts in a long time. I think this will be fun to watch.
We say that, and we're going to be sitting there bored tonight. It's going to be just like to write down Mel Kiper's big board.
It's going to be fucking chalk.
Yeah.
Cowboys are at 27.
Okay.
I like the Bijan pick there. If you guys can get him,
100%. If we can get him. Yeah.
I kind of forgot Pollard still needs a contract too.
And he's hurt. Yeah, coming off injury. So yeah, moving on in terms of, that's the draft. Like we said, we're going to be live streaming that. So when you're watching this, go back and watch those reactions because Robbie is going to be outraged whenever Will Levis gets picked by the Carolina Panthers at number 1. Moving on the NFL headlines, we have Aaron Rodgers has officially been traded to the New York Jets. It felt like it was official forever, but only really got made official in the last week or so. So the official trade, the Packers will be sending the 4-time NFL MVP to the New York Jets, along with their 15th overall draft pick this year, and they get a 5th round selection in exchange for the Jets' 13th overall draft choice, a 2nd round pick, a 6th round pick, and a conditional 2024 2nd round pick. That will become a 1st rounder should Rodgers play at least 65% of New York's offensive plays in 2023. Wow, that's quite a caveat.
I think the Packers did great. I don't know how the Packers do better with that.
Especially like
did y'all go ahead.
Somebody continue.
Did you guys see the post I sent you from Reddit earlier about what Salah said about Rodgers?
Yes, about his toes being out and walking around barefoot.
Oh, I did see that.
He's like Aaron's been great so far. He's so comfortable. He's got his shoes off, walking around like he's just a great guy. I'm like, what? Like, imagine you roll into the practice facility and Aaron Rodgers is walking around with his pigs out. Like, what? I don't even know what to do with that. I just be like,
that's such an alpha move. Zach Wilson is just shaking his cleats.
Do you think Zach Wilson just walks around and like talks about how he fucks MILFs like constantly?
Oh yeah.
Like, do you think that's just like all he does at the practice facility?
Aaron Rodgers like MILFs, dude. That's just like my wife's age. Like,
right? Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, in terms of what they had or what the Jets had to give up to get him, I don't know, man. In terms of what he has maybe 1 or 2 good years left, and even if that, like, because he didn't even play that well this last season.
Here's the thing: we said that about Brady too, and he kept going. And like, I just think like I know it's Brady, but like,
right?
I think the way that it goes these days, like, I think they're gonna keep playing later and later than we expect because sports medicine is so much better than it was 10 years ago.
But also, until his last season, though, Brady never had a bad season. I think Rodgers' last season was a bad season for him.
It was as a bad season for him. He's still better than.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
He's still a top 10 quarterback in the league, though, right?
But like,
Brady's
was
also
Rodgers
had-
last year?
I can't
really
believe I'm
good
defending
offensive
Aaron
line.
Rodgers right now. I cannot believe I'm actually defending Aaron Rodgers right now. But here we
Yeah,
go.
wait a second. I thought you were the resident Aaron Rodgers hater.
nutsack here.
Um,
There's one Aaron Rodgers hater.
Rodgers
it's
hater,
me.
So yeah, I'm interested to see how it works out. I mean, he has some weapons now. Obviously, Alan Lazard moved over to New York specifically for the purpose of playing with Aaron Rodgers. So I guess we'll see.
I didn't think Aaron Rodgers liked Alan Lazard. Like,
Apparently
I don't know
they do.
why. I just never got like the feeling that he did because he always
My
complained about his
dynasty team
receivers.
also felt that way.
Yeah, right.
Could have made some trades myself. God.
You can still trade with me. I had that number 1 overall pick looking kind of nice though.
But in the last NFL headline that I have is Chase Young's player option was not picked up by the Washington Commanders, and basically in response to injury concerns over the last few years. What do you guys think of that move?
I'm curious to see how cheap somebody could get him. I still think he's got some value left to give.
Yeah. I'm just surprised you don't keep him on the rookie deal if you're the Commanders, even though he's been hurt. Like, he's been a great player when he's on the field.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, why did you not keep him for that cheap contract? You also, Connor, there's another really big contract that just came out, like, before we started recording that I don't see on the podcast notes.
Go take it.
Lamar Jackson signed a, I think, 4-year, 5-year,
Missed that.
$255 million deal with the Baltimore Ravens to stay with the
They
Ravens.
finally-
$185 million guaranteed.
They caved.
So you know that deal that Jalen Hurts signed that made him the highest NFL player ever
no
paid?
longer.
Lamar is now the highest paid NFL player of
Yeah.
all time.
And I have trouble wanting to think that I would rather pay Lamar over Jalen.
By the way, Lamar represents himself, so that's
He just
pretty
made bank.
impressive. Yeah,
Just made
that's pretty insane.
it's 5-year, 260 total.
God
My
almighty.
apologies. Yeah.
So
27
guy-
months of negotiations.
For a guy that's spent how much time on the field in the last 2 years? Like 10
enough.
games combined?
I guess
10
enough.
games combined, I guess.
But hey, shout out to Lamar Jackson. He was able to do that, so that's mightily impressive.
He's a great player. He's got to stay on the field, and they got to scheme around him. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is you can't just roll Lamar out there with whatever offense you want.
Of course. So yeah, there it is. Lamar Jackson, the highest paid NFL player of all time. The Baltimore Ravens finally caving in and giving him the money that he wanted. So yeah, there it is for the NFL stuff. Moving on to a few college headlines. Former Notre Dame quarterback Tyler. What did I just say? Former Notre Dame.
My God,
my head fucking spin. Holy shit!
He was sitting there thinking about the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and he just really got screwed up a little bit.
That was crazy.
Wild.
Take two.
You got it? You got it?
We good?
Former Notre Dame quarterback Tyler Buckner is heading
There
to
it is.
Alabama in the Crimson Tide. Obviously, Alabama kind of surprisingly in need of a quarterback after. I'm sorry, remind me your backup's name. What? The muscular kid?
I always forget his name.
Well, we have two quarterbacks fighting for the starting job. That's Jalen Milroe and
That's the man
Ty
you're thinking
Simpson.
of.
So yeah, obviously after seeing Jalen Milroe not be super successful last season, I think people were a little surprised because typically Alabama has 5 stars in bunches. So is this welcome news to you guys as alumni?
I think it's a sign that whoever loses the quarterback competition is going to transfer.
Or hit the transfer portal.
And I didn't watch our spring game. Our spring game was last Saturday.
Mhm.
But what I heard is that neither of them really separated themselves to be the starting quarterback. Neither of them looked awful, but no one really stood out. Now part of that was some wide receiver drops and things of that nature, but then neither of them you're like, that's the guy.
Mhm.
So I don't know if this is just an insurance policy because obviously he knows Tommy Reese, or if it's just an assumption that one of those two guys is going to transfer. I have no idea.
Right.
Because right now we have 4 quarterbacks under scholarship, counting him.
Milroe needs to take a big step forward if he's going to be the starter. He's got all the legs. He's obviously got the build. He's not super tall, but he's incredibly athletic. But some of his accuracy problems he had last year was no bueno.
Yeah.
And Ty Simpson is the 5-star like you're talking about, Connor. He's very highly recruited. He's supposed to be the next big thing, but it doesn't seem like he's ready yet. I think he's a freshman in last year. Now he's a redshirt freshman. So
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, moving on to the next and last college football headline. Apparently, the SEC is reportedly working through quote-unquote meaningful discussions on storm fielding. So SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey said on Tuesday the conference is having meaningful discussions about adjusting its longstanding policy on field storming to address safety issues, and a wide range of options are being considered by a working group. SA.com on Monday reported that the SEC was mulling the idea that if fans stormed the field, their team could surrender home field advantage the next time they face that opponent. When asked if forfeiting a future home game was discussed, Sankey said it was quote-unquote identified as a continuum of ideas that also included changing the fines. So that's pretty huge. That
seems absurd to me. That seems like actually like insane.
That's like a huge deal. Like forfeiting home field advantage.
Is any other like league
conference?
Conference. Thank you. Can like have any kind of rules like that?
Not like
similarly?
that.
The ACC definitely doesn't, because Clemson does it literally every game.
The Big 12 is just fines.
Yeah,
I don't.
Fucking Clemson does it every day. They beat the piss out of Georgia Tech and they all run the field.
Yeah,
It's
woo.
stupid.
I don't get. Let the fans rush the field. I get like, no, maybe it's not super safe. I get it, but like it's fun, and that's what college athletics are supposed to be. They're supposed to be fun. Like let them rush the field.
2 or 3 broken legs worth. Do you think Tennessee? You think Tennessee would have said, I don't know, 2 to 3 broken legs isn't worth storming the field after beating Alabama? Are you fucking kidding me? They would have killed multiple people.
Dude,
I'm curious, like how many fans have like been hurt in field stormings?
But like that punishment is insane. Like in terms of that determines seasons sometimes, especially in college.
The home field advantage thing is ridiculous, because like you're trading out people storming the field and like hurting each other versus like they're still going to try it, and then you have your security guards put in where they have to hurt someone to keep them from storming the field. Like that just doesn't fix the problem.
Yeah. Well,
right.
and then the other idea of we may make them forfeit. Like holy crap,
that is insane.
Like how do you raise the barriers enough to not let people storm the field?
Although, I mean, forfeiting would deter the fans from doing it. Right?
Yeah.
Like if you know your team loses if you run on the field, right?
No, but big forehead, you just wear the other team's colors or something.
No,
Go
exactly.
As an away game fan, and then you storm the field. Giant brain.
Ryan, you might want to make a quick trip to Jordan Hare next year and storm the field in Auburn jerseys.
Can do, brother.
So yeah, that like Robbie said, it's kind of an insane idea. Hopefully they come up with something that's a little less drastic than either of those.
I do think like the fans obviously don't care about fines. They're not paying the fines. Why do they care?
A forfeit wouldn't make people stop, but like
it just kind of sucks.
But maybe like it would, the first year like kids might forget about it, or it's not announced well enough or something like that, and then it's like, crap, we just cost our team a trip to the CFP because we stormed the field. Like, that's great,
and that's the thing. That's insane.
So moving on from college football, a few miscellaneous headlines. Nate Diaz, the UFC fighter, surrenders to police on battery charge after video surfaced of him choking out a social media influencer and boxer by the name of Rodney Peterson. That I don't know if either of y'all saw that video. That was kind of a weird thing. It was just there was like a fight that broke out between tens of people or something like that, and Nate Diaz was just outside. And this guy wasn't even like trying to fight him or whatever. He just was like around the area, and Nate Diaz just like choked him out in a guillotine choke. It was like, okay,
that's literally like a weapon of mass destruction. It's just
like
walking around, just like choking random dudes out. That's kind of wild.
But yeah, that video was kind of insane. Moving on from that, ex-Louisville basketball star Haley Van Lith commits to LSU, another woman in college basketball who is among the best. And
wasn't she the one that Andrew Reese was like talking mad shit to, like in the Subway tournament though? Like, am I remembering that right? Where they were like talking shit, and is it not her? Right? Are you sure?
I thought it was Caitlin Clark, or are you thinking it was something
else?
else?
Before that, like in the earlier rounds, they beat Louisville, and like they were talking shit in the handshake line. Which, like, I mean, competitors talk shit. Like, it's fine. But I realized that I was like, I'm pretty sure it's the same girl from Louisville, like, that also got caught up talking shit to LSU. But
people in the comments of Instagram, when everyone was like, you know, how it's always like, oh, explain this in NBA terms, and everybody was like, KD to the Warriors, and I was like, that's pretty accurate, actually.
Yeah.
So it's like Caitlin Clark in Iowa is basically she's Damian Lillard, and they're the Trailblazers, and then she has to go against the super team. They're better than the.
I would
the
say she's
Trailblazers.
more like Kobe on the Lakers.
Without a Shaq, like before
Without
Shaq.
Shaq, yeah.
Oh, okay.
After Shaq,
Shaq's
like,
Angel
August
Reese.
All era.
They're not on the same
Shaq's
team.
Angel Reese. I know, but she's on LSU. That's
Oh,
just
yeah,
kinda
yeah.
That's a good callback. Yeah.
Imagine
Thank you.
Caitlin Clark goes to LSU.
Also, shout out Cam Robinson for failing his drug test in the NFL. Roll Tide. Good for you. my guy.
Nice. Good job.
PEDs, my brother.
Sick.
So yeah, and then this is gonna be our last headline. Given that we have to be on the stream in a few minutes, we will not be doing the drafts that we were planning today. We can do that next time. But the last thing I have is the NHL playoffs and some updates about the NHL playoffs and where the series currently stand. So currently, the Lightning and Maple Leafs are playing, and currently the Maple Leafs are up on the Lightning 3-1. The Rangers and Devils, it is a series that is tied 2-2. The Golden Knights are up on the Jets 3-1. I believe the Hurricanes are up on the Islanders 3-2.
3-2. Yeah.
The Bruins are up on the Panthers 3-2. The Dallas Stars are up on the Wild 3-2. And the Kraken are up on the Avalanche 3-2. So it looks like it's the Oilers are up on the Kings 3-2, and I believe that's the last one. This looks like an incredibly competitive.
Dude, the owners are
playoffs.
bricked up.
Yeah.
Did you mention the Lightning being down 3-1 to the Maple Leafs?
That was the first one I said.
Okay, I missed it. I was just making sure because that to me is the most surprising result currently.
Yeah.
Well,
Leafs
also the
actually showing
Lightning
up in the
beat the
playoffs.
piss out of the Leafs the first
In game one,
game. And it
7-2.
was like 7-3.
Wild. Wow. This is like the most competitive playoffs I've seen in terms of like a 7-game series. Holy crap, that's crazy. Most of them are 2-2. That's interesting. I'll have to keep an eye out, especially if the Stars manage to clinch this first round W.
Hurricane Stars finals. I'll see you guys there.
Sounds like a good time. Well, like I said, we got to hop on a live stream very, very soon. So one of y'all want to sign us out?
Ryan, you do the sign off.
Yeah, I'll do it. Thank you guys for tuning in to another beautiful show of the Bros in the Berg. For myself, Ryan, Robbie, and our executive producer, Connor, we thank you, and we'll make sure to see you on the next one. Check out our live stream.
By the way,
doesn't matter. We just recorded this, so you won't see that.
By the way, I have an album dropping this Saturday, so
check it out.
Go listen to that.
We have it. When's the listening party?
We can do it whenever, man.
Excellent.
Bye.
Adios.